What if ancient Egyptians were neither black nor white? What if history left out a third possibility? This idea is rejected by mainstream historians. But once you see the evidence carved into stone, it becomes very hard to ignore. This video does not claim absolute truth. It explores a controversial hypothesis that challenges how we picture ancient Egypt. You don't have to agree, but you should see the evidence before deciding. This is What Is It? Uncovering the Unknown. To understand ancient Egypt, we must first separate it from what we see today. Modern Egypt is the result of many layers of history: Arab, Greek, Roman, Ottoman, and Islamic influence. But the original ancient Egyptian civilization effectively ended in 342 BC, when the last native pharaoh, Nectanebo II, was defeated. That means, when we talk about ancient Egypt, we're talking about a world that existed thousands of years ago, in a time when population distribution on Earth was very different from today. Using modern appearances to judge ancient people can be deeply misleading. Ancient Egyptians did not think in terms of modern racial categories. They classified people by culture, geography, and political identity. And we know this because they carved it into stone. At temples such as Karnak and Luxor, Egyptians depicted foreign peoples with remarkable consistency. Enemies from the north were shown with high nose bridges, deep-set eyes, and heavy facial hair. Enemies from the south, the Nubians, were shown with dark skin, broad noses, and tightly curled hair. The important detail is not how foreigners were drawn. The important detail is this: ancient Egyptians never depicted themselves as either of these groups. They consistently placed themselves in a distinct category. This leads some researchers to ask a difficult question. If Egyptians were not northern foreigners and not southern Nubians, how did they see themselves? Now let us look at the pharaohs themselves. Not one statue, not two, hundreds. Across different dynasties, especially in the Old Kingdom, royal statues display striking consistency. Many have compact facial proportions, smooth or flattened profiles, and almond-shaped eyes. Some researchers argue that these features resemble what we today associate with East Asian populations more than European or Sub-Saharan African ones. Critics strongly disagree. They argue that statues are idealized, stylized, and symbolic rather than biological. And they may be right. But supporters ask another question. If these faces are purely symbolic, why does the same facial pattern appear repeatedly for over 1,000 years? In 2019, a stone statue of Tutankhamun was auctioned in the United Kingdom. Once again, the same debate resurfaced. Across civilizations, royal symbols reveal how rulers understood the universe. In ancient China, imperial authority was represented by two creatures, the dragon and the phoenix. The dragon ruled water, rain, and heaven, a serpent-like being associated with cosmic order. The phoenix symbolized legitimacy, rebirth, and sovereign rule. Together, they formed a complete system of authority. In ancient Egypt, royal symbolism followed a remarkably similar logic. The pharaoh's crown combined the cobra, known as the uraeus, a symbol of protection and royal power, and the falcon, representing Horus, the sky god and divine kingship. Serpent and bird, earth and sky, protection and legitimacy. Supporters of this theory argue that such paired symbolism reflects a shared worldview of kingship and cosmic balance. Critics respond that similar symbols can arise independently. The debate remains unresolved. Biology can mix. Culture is harder to erase. One example often cited is funerary tradition. In many Western societies, the color of mourning is black. In ancient China, the color of death was white. And in ancient Egypt, the same is true. Both civilizations wrapped the dead and mourners in white cloth. Another point often discussed is social structure. Compared to some other ancient civilizations, women in both ancient Egypt and ancient China appear to have held relatively higher social and legal status. They could own property, conduct business, and in rare cases, rule. Now we arrive at something that cannot be judged by faces or clothing: writing. Ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs are not alphabetic. They combine images representing meaning with elements representing sound. Early Chinese writing, especially oracle bone script, follows a strikingly similar principle. Both systems use pictorial symbols, combine semantic and phonetic components, and allow multiple writing directions. Critics argue this is simply how early writing evolves. Supporters argue the structural similarity is too strong to ignore. We will explore this in depth in Part 2. And what we found might rewrite the history books. One similarity proves nothing, but multiple similarities raise questions. Faces, symbols, cultural practices, writing logic. Coincidence can explain one or two. Explaining all of them becomes more difficult. That is why this theory, despite rejection by mainstream scholarship, continues to resurface. History is not just what happened. It is what survived, what was recorded, and what was later interpreted. Were ancient Egyptians Asian? Or are these similarities simply coincidence pushed too far? You decide. Leave your thoughts in the comments. This is What Is It? Uncovering the Unknown.